Hey, it's Adam with Theros Media, and today I just want to talk about my thoughts on management fees, I guess, for clients and trying to justify mine, I guess, and a little self-aggrandizement, because it's always good to pump yourself up. And the difference between good, companies that are good at running traffic versus companies that are great at managing the strategy behind it. So we're a company that prides ourselves on being great at what we do. I'm sure all companies strive for that, but trust. So people are trusting me to run their advertising like they would run their own advertising, and they are relying on me. So I trust reliability and actually treating our clients like we were them, like we were running their business for them. It's kind of the ethos of our company. So I haven't been full disclosure, I've had an agency for 5 years. Stopped doing that to work inside a client's business because I wanted to buy into it. Now back to it, having to really develop my core values, but those are really what the tenets of what I strive to do personally, because I'm in business just like them, small business owner, and I want to make sure my money is spent, especially for advertising, on it's relevant to my business. And it's actually going to produce results for my business. So I treat them the same way I would. I know it takes a little more time throughout the month to do that, but that's why I charge what I charge. I'm not the least expensive agency by far. I mean, most agencies just charge a percentage of ad spend. I don't do that in the HVAC space because usually the budgets are smaller than other industries. The lifetime value of a customer is larger, and the cost per clicks are a lot higher. Those three factors kind of steered me towards a flat fee model. So the fee right now is $1,300 for ad spend management, Google Ads management. But that includes stuff like going through search terms every week to make sure we're spending money where we should be spending money on. Figuring out what service lines you actually want to get into your business, because for me, I'll tell you my philosophy on Google Ads for contractors. The cost per click is so high, and usually the budgets are very low, that you can't afford to do everything you could afford to do if you're a larger company. So let's say Blue Dot, for example, they're a large company in our area. Blue Dot can afford to spend $100,000 a month on ad spend because they have something like 400 trucks or something like that. So they're a fairly big company. If you're a company that has less than 10 trucks, you can't really afford to compete like they can. So this company I was on a call with our client's ad management company now. I did a little consulting for him, and I said, hey, the way you're running your advertising is not conducive for a smaller budget. You're running it like you were running it for a big company. And that's what they have. They have bigger companies, bigger HVAC companies as their clients, and they can afford to run it like that. But if you're running I guess I specialize in HVAC companies that have less than 15 trucks, because you can't run an ad account like you could for them. So what I mean by that is you have to break everything back. We have to take everything back to the long-term value of the customer. And you have to spend money accordingly. You have to budget your campaigns based on the long-term value of that specific customer. So HVAC companies in general have probably 6, 7, 8 different types of customers, meaning the type of customer that comes into the business could be install, different types of installs, could be service, different types of service, could be repairs. Repairs and service are two different things for customers in customers' minds, different types of repairs. Service is more a maintenance type of thing. Repairs are something needs to be fixed right now. Installations are someone wants to get something changed, like a change out. So something's broken and they need to repair or change it out, or they want to install a new system. And a lot of times for smaller contractors, they try to go after everything. And I try to persuade them not to as best as I can, because it's not going to fit your budget to do that. So for smaller contractors, I break everything out by the service they want to advertise for. And the type of service they want to advertise for. So the service and the type of service. Meaning, if you want to install, you want to go for, let's say summertime and air conditioning replacements are what you want to go after. I break everything down. And air conditioner repair and replacement. So that might sound like one campaign, but it's actually two. Air conditioning installations, air conditioning replacements. It's actually three if you have a bigger budget, but we're not going to get into that. So you break it down based on service line and type of service for contractor and location. So you can actually get a very, very, it's going to be probably 25% lower cost per click for each service line if you break it out like that, because you're breaking out the keywords into very hyper-specific keywords. You're breaking out the ad groups. You're getting really, really granular with the ad groups, really, really granular with the keywords. You have a lot of long tail keywords in that to try to justify the cost per click. So I like to make sure that we're spending at least 90% of our budget on transactional keywords. So this company has been managing their Google Ads, our past clients' Google Ads for 2 months now. They spend about $8,000, and that's not that much for Google, but it's a lot for them. So $8,000, and the majority of the keyword spend was on informational keywords. So 40% of it was informational keywords, 20% of it was navigational keywords, and only 20% was transactional keywords. Transactional keywords are installer near me, repair now, that type of thing. Navigational keywords are people looking for the company, people looking for competitors, that type of thing. Informational keywords are just general keywords that people search for in that specific industry that are either irrelevant to the business or don't really lead to a transaction. It's not conducive of a transaction now. The intent behind it is not conducive. So I break everything into campaigns, campaign by service line, by type of service, and then intent behind the keyword. And typically, if you're not spending more than $10,000 a month, I don't like to do anything that's not transactional because you can't really afford it. And that's not a knock to anybody. It's just what it is. I'm a small business. I have a marketing budget. I can't really afford anything that's not transactional either, even though I do it because, I have a little runway with how I spend money, but they need to have service guys and installers installing things now. It's really a sales-driven business, especially for install. So they need installs now. They need estimates now. They can't really wait. Have a funnel built out, 4 or 5 weeks in advance. You can do that intermittently while you're getting them estimates, but you still need to have estimates coming in today. So that's what we do typically, and that's where this company went wrong. You'll see a lot of DSA, dynamic search ads. For contractors, you don't want to do that. You want to do dynamic search ads for the landing pages, not for the website pages, because most of them, I've been through about 170 different contractors' advertising campaigns by now, so in the last couple of months. And the majority of them, I'd say probably 93% of them don't have landing pages built. They're just running it to website pages or the homepage, even worse. And, it's not going to do much good for you. It doesn't matter how great the keyword is if the landing page isn't built to convert. So that's kind of my thoughts on companies that actually are good at what they do. So this company, I have no doubt, is good at what they do. But they're used to managing bigger accounts. And smaller accounts need a little more TLC. So for my company, trust is a core tenet of mine. Reliability is a core tenet of mine. And I'm not sure the word for it, but thinking how you would if you were running that business is a core tenet of mine. Just because, that's what we have to do right now. And I've always been a small business owner, operator, and that's kind of what I love to do. So, that's my rant for today. It's just, if you're looking at just the fee for what you're getting or what you're doing versus what you're getting, two totally different things. They have basically the same services I offer, except they don't offer to build landing pages. And they don't offer to build landing pages was one. And I forget the other one that they told me on the phone. But you have to pay them another fee for managing display, YouTube, all that type of stuff inside Google Ads. They just run search traffic for a set fee, which is fine if everything's already built. And if everything's already built and managed properly, then why do they need you to do it? For a small business especially, they don't really need you to do it. Someone else and the company's going to do it. For bigger companies, probably, but we're talking about small businesses here, and small businesses that have usually smaller budgets. If they have everything built for you and the only thing you do is run traffic to it, why do they need you? Is my thought. You know what I mean? So hopefully this has some value to you. I think what I want to get across is you really have to think through how you're managing someone's advertising, especially if you're managing advertising. You're an integral part of their business. You are I want to say rainmaker, but it's kind of what you are. You make the sales, you enable the sales team to bring in the cash for the business. And you have to think like it. You have to make sure you do the small things. So going through search terms, they probably go through it. I've seen they excluded a bunch, but they don't know the business well enough to know that this is a search term not worth bidding on. You know what I mean? They don't know the business well enough to know a BTO calculator. I mean, that might sound, for me, I've been in the business forever, and it just, all right. So like I said, this is bad. This is a bad example. HVAC, cost of HVAC service. Now that might sound like it's a transactional keyword, but in my experience, it's not. Cost of mini split system. That might sound like a transactional keyword, but in my experience for a contractor, it's not. It's not going to convert into anything. It's irrelevant to the campaign. And you only get that specialized knowledge by going into being granular with how you're tracking everything. And that's really the difference between both companies. They both run traffic, but one is just going to run traffic and charge you for each additional service line. I'm going to run traffic, but I'm going to make sure that it's the most relevant. And because I have knowledge of the business, that it's going to bring you exactly what you're looking for. Even though comparatively, the fee is way different. So for them, I think they charge $500 until the 5% is more than that. So I think they only charge them $500 to manage their ad account, but they got at most $12,000 in sales. I'm going to charge $1,300 in that to manage your ad account, but when I did it, I got you $90,000 in sales. So which one actually cost you more? I'd say the one that charged you less. That's just my thoughts. I know I rambled a little bit and I'm off topic. I'll get better at making these videos, but as of right now, that's just my thoughts for the day. I guess I have a call with him in a couple minutes to figure out how we can manage it better. He's going to try to beat me on a price, but that's not going to happen because, it's going to take a lot of work to get this ad account back up and running the way it should be. They totally got rid of all the landing pages, so I have to create all those again. So it's going to be a lot of work to get done, but we'll get it done because that's what we do. Anyway, hopefully these thoughts help you in any way, and I'll talk to you soon.